I am super excited to launch Lucio today. It is a platform where you can build assistants on top of your company data, on top of any resource, and query these assistants via APIs. So you can query those via all your favorite automation tools like N8N, Make, Zapier, and get very high quality RAG source answers directly into your workflows. So this can be super useful if you're building content generation workflows, if you're having support bots or any operational workflow that you want to have within your company. So the way it works, again, you upload your documents into the platform, you configure your assistant so you can write its prompts, define a bit of its context, and select the resources that it can access. And when you're ready, you can get an API key and query that specific assistant via API in your favorite tools. So let's take a look at how it works in real life. So I have actually tested that over the N8N Arena challenge, where they were testing and challenging everyone to build very good quality RAG workflows. And I have tested Lucio there. So basically they had this evaluation set with a bunch of questions. And here I'm calling Lucio via the API. So we see here the dedicated API endpoint. I have connected my credentials here, and the query was coming from this evaluation set. I define my assistant ID that I have created in the platform, and I choose my query mode. So there are two modes for now. One is flash, the other is deep. So the deep mode takes longer to reply, but the answers will be even more advanced. And we see here the output contains the query, the mode that we had, but then the final answer that we output, and also the time it took to generate. So here around 80 seconds. So this is the deep mode. It's slow, but provides really good quality responses. So overall, Lucio got 37 out of 40 in this evaluation challenge, which is one of the best scores that was ever scored on this challenge. Let's see how it works just with one query before we move on to going through the full configuration. So here we can write our query. So for example, this is a question that the corpus of resources will be able to provide. And here we'll just use the flash mode and execute that just to see how the output looks. And here we are. In our outputs, we have our response. We could even quote the document that contained the response, and we see here that it took around a bit more than 5 seconds to generate, which is very fast to get high quality answers. So now let's take a look at the full implementation and set up a new account. So I'm here again on lucio.app, and I will sign up with Google this time. I will provide a bit of information here. And I'm ready to get started. And now we can decide if we join an existing workspace, if your colleagues have already set up Lucio, or create a new one, which is what I will do right now. You name your workspace and you're ready to go. So now to get started, I first need to upload resources and then to create an assistant and configure it the way I want for it to answer based on the resources we've just uploaded. So I have planned 3 PDFs here. I was working in the carbon accounting industry before, and we had this greenhouse gas protocol, which is really the reference document for calculating emissions. So here, let's see if we can create an assistant that answers based on this resource. This is another document specifically for scope 3. And we are also going to take the new SBTi net zero standard that was just released. Heading back to Lucio, let's upload these 3 documents. I'm adding the title here, and you can also add the URL that should be referred to when quoting this source. To upload the file, you can either upload a PDF or a TXT file, or just input the plain text that you have if you just want to copy and paste some information. So here I'm going to import the PDF. So once we have uploaded resources, they are processing to be vectorized. So one is already ready and the 2 others are being processed. In the meantime, we can already go and configure our assistant. So let's give it a name. And then we can write about the context. So here, for example, that way. And then the output guidelines, for example, the language, tone of voice, the format. Perfect. So now we can choose whether it can access all resources or just some of them. So in our case, we only have these 3 resources. So let's say it can access all of them. And this is our new assistant. We have its name and we can edit this information at any time. And for now, we have no query, but we could be running one here as a test directly from the interface just to see how the results look. I will select the flash mode for it to be very fast. I open my query and hit generate response. And after 6 seconds, we have our answer and we see that the source has been added. Now it's being added in this way, and maybe we want to be clear about the format. So I'll just edit here the output guidelines. Perfect. Let's run this query again. So that is way better. Perfect. We are now ready to test this via the API. So I'll head here in the API settings page and create a new API key. And we now have access to our API key. Perfect. If we open the API docs, we can see that we have all the information related to the API, and we can copy here the curl of an example request. Now, if we head over to N8N or any automation tool that you like, let's say we will build a form where the user asks a question. And we generate the answer with Lucio. So I'm going to use here an HTTP request, which is an API call. And here I can simply import the curl. And N8N will automatically pre-fill everything. So we could replace our API key here or store it within N8N as an authentication here, generic credential type, and add a new credential here. I'll copy the API key and paste it here. So it is now saved and we don't have to write it as a header anymore. For the query, we will simply map that to the form. And for the assistant ID, we will just get the assistant ID of the one we have just created here. And now if I run this node, we will see that Lucio will generate the answer using the assistant, using the resources that we have uploaded, and answer with the flash mode. Here we are. In 7 seconds, we got our very good quality RAG answer generated within N8N, and we can, for example, show that as a form ending here, storing the output. And we now have a live form that directly answers our questions. Perfect, we have our answer. The formatting is not great, but this is just an N8N setting. So again, what can you do with Lucio? You can really integrate that super easily as a single node within all your workflows. My favorite use case is content generation. I have a template here where the form input defines the article that we want to write. Then there is this AI step that will break the article creation down into subqueries, and we will then one by one ask the question to Lucio. We also get good quality sources, and we then feed all that research into a final AI that will write the full article based on all your company resources. That is super useful if, again, we think about the use case of carbon accounting documentation. If you have a climate tech startup and want to write SEO article on that topic, and you don't want to bother too many experts to make sure that the content is good quality, you simply upload your files into Lucio, create an assistant, and query it into such a system so that the final article that is being written doesn't rely on generic ChatGPT knowledge, but relies on the actual documentation that is the reference knowledge for that topic. Another template that I have published, and I will be linking them both in the description of this video, but this is an AI agent that answers this time all the user questions through a chatbot interface. So again, I really recommend considering Lucio if you're looking to integrate within your workflows and automations very good quality RAG without having to build your own data pipeline, all the difficult stuff, but just want one node that provides super high quality results. And as a final word, I would say that I built Lucio as the tool that I wish I had when I was working on content generation at scale, increasing the quality while reducing the time it took to produce and to publish them. So have fun, enjoy the free credits. Until the end of September, I will be giving away 10 times more free credits, and then it will go back to 50 free credits when you sign up. So definitely take a look.